And it just hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, my MBA probably doesn't matter. It probably doesn't. My success of an entrepreneur in the past probably doesn't matter. What matters is attention equals money and influence.
Hello, everyone. It's Arick Wierson here with another episode of Leverage Storytelling presented by Tunheim. I'm here with the great Mike Nathan. Mike, thanks for coming on the show.
Glad to be here, Eric.
Mike, why are you here, by the way?
I was asked. I think I'm supposed to talk about storytelling and something relating to a pickle.
Do you know something about that?
About storytelling? Yeah, I think so. I think I know a little bit about it. I've been doing it for quite a while. Since I was telling you earlier, selling cutlery door to door. You have to tell a little bit of a story there. And as my career has progressed, you get into data and you get into insights and you still have to tell a story.
In all seriousness, though, you're here because you are probably one of the most serial entrepreneurs in the Twin Cities that I know. I know you've got your hands in probably more companies than I know. I know at least, Nightwear, Turn Signal, Vail Scientific, Mendota Health. What am I missing?
Eruption.
Okay, I don't know that one.
Neosolite Performance. Yeah, there's a few more I could keep ripping
and
up. So,
you
Brother Justice Whiskey. I mean, you name it.
Oh, that's right. Brother Justice Whiskey. That's a great Minnesota brand.
Yeah.
By the way. And now you obviously are part of a new VC, which is actually technically a South Dakota deal, right?
It is. So Exit 156 is three Johnnies and myself got together, St. John's Johnnies alumni, and we wanted to come up with a venture fund that focused on making the St. John, St. Ben's community mean more than just a degree, and let's help those entrepreneurs and those business folks after graduation. And so we got together. The general partner is Josh Robinson, who lives in South Dakota, which is why we're domiciled in Sioux Falls.
What I want to start off with is a little bit of your story. I know you started off your adult life in the Navy, and now you're here with your hands in all these companies. Fill in the gap.
Yeah. So after St. John's, I did what I describe as the poor man's Hemingway. I joined the Navy to travel the world. I wasn't dating a rich heiress to go travel to Africa, but I did get myself to Japan and Italy. So I did that for 4.5 years. Then I started in really big billion-dollar multinational companies. So like Enterprise Rent-A-Car, super sexy job. I was an official assistant manager there, then a manager, right? And then I just kept working my way down in companies in a business development capacity, smaller company, bigger role, more of an influence. And then I went and got my MBA from the Concordia University in St. Paul. I got my MBA from there. And then I said, I need to start doing this on my own. I think I don't need the companies that employ me more than they need me to do their business. That light bulb goes off, and then you just start down this entrepreneurial path. And it's oftentimes not as difficult as you think it is. It's risky, but it's simple. I started with just doing consulting, Next Stage Growth Partners with 3 other like-minded fellows, and we did business development consulting. We looked for mom and pop, call it less than 25 million in revenue. We just told them, hey, does your sales and marketing suck? Is anything good here? How about your people, your process? And we did that. That was the first sort of stand-up business that, I said goodbye to a W-2. Then you move over to, now I'm talking to doctors and nurse practitioners. And what I realized, I fell in love with healthcare first as an entrepreneur because there are amazing providers, docs, people in healthcare that have all the clinical knowledge in the world. They kind of have this business idea, but they don't know how to run a business or start it or what the next thing is. And so I would always raise my hand and say, I can do the other half. You know the clinical half, I know the business half. Let's come together. And so that probably took place in a couple of different companies until I said, I think I'm going to find my business model and find my doc care model and smash that together. Before I was sort of latching on to a doctor's idea, let's say. Now I'm coming up with an idea and bringing doctors who are like-minded and see what I'm seeing and then bring them along. First evidence of that is Livio Health Group. We formed back in 2014. We make the claim we invented mobile urgent care, right? And so that was a nurse practitioner fee-for-service service that we had as a mobile urgent care going into homes, into apartments. Where we really hit it off was in certain populations among Americans, Somali Americans, refugee, English as a second language, and they just consumed healthcare differently. And it was great. And I know that experience for me was where I know we saved lives, right? And that's really when the hook got set. The activities we did at Livio Health Group in St. Paul, and then later was purchased by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Minnesota, when you start to be able to do good and do great, it's really, really addicting and you can't go back. Those are the ones you can literally get up in the morning. Like, why do you get up in the morning? Like, hey, I got a chance to save lives today.
So, you've obviously made a big focus on, companies in healthcare, but you've probably seen all different types of CEOs and leaders and founders. And tell me a little bit about kind of, if you evaluate those individuals in terms of their ability to not only, the fundamentals of their company, the market fit, the total addressable market, all the fundamentals that you're going to look at as storytellers and communicators. Tell me, what are you looking for when a new CEO approaches you or a founder approaches you with an idea?
I need to have, so as an investor hat on, or if they're asking me for some advice, if a CEO comes to me, I am immediately judging, is this person punching their ticket? Are they just looking for a money grab? They want to get out as fast as they can, build a resume. I'm evaluating that. Do they actually care about the thing they're doing? Is there a personal story? I'm looking for one of those. Like, why are you doing this versus, because a lot of people are super bright, super talented, motivated. They could be doing lots of things. What in the hell are you doing this for? When everything goes south, are you going to grind it out? Or are you just going to punch your ticket and leave and say, I was a startup founder guy once or gal, and then take off? Telling that story, why it's important to you. It doesn't mean to be a family member, specifically a story that relates immediately, but it better be core to your values. It better be core to what you're doing. Now,
you've actually taken to the internet, sharing a lot of these morsels and nuggets of wisdom, things you've noticed over the years, talking to CEOs, talking about everything from the initial business plan all the way to negotiating an exit. But first of all, do you have a name for these things? What do you call them?
Maybe it's pickle punditry. If I'm making it up on the spot. And the reason I say pickle punditry is my niece, Skyla Page, who introduced me to Mrs. Payton, who's a lady who literally sits on the internet and eats a pickle in front of a microphone. And she has almost 250 million views.
Oh, it's that ADSR stuff, right?
Yes. And at first, when she told me, and I'm like, you're lying. You're making this up. And then she showed it to me, and I about fell off the couch. I'm like, how is this a thing? As a business guy, I'm like, she doesn't have much value in the market. What's her, unique selling proposition? But she's making a killing doing it. There's somebody opening boxes of new toys on the internet. Mr. Beast is the most watched person on the planet. And they got started by, I think it was counting to 100,000 live. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, my MBA probably doesn't matter. It probably doesn't. My success of an entrepreneur in the past probably doesn't matter. What matters is attention equals money and influence. You can deny it. I tried denying it until I saw the pickle lady, right? Now I know it's true. Look around. Everybody is on a device. It's on your phone. We can't get away from them. That attention here is going to drive the economy going forward. And then add in AI. And so those are the vignettes or the videos that I'm putting out there. Is I need to start just working on the things I know. I think I've got a credible voice around entrepreneurialism, starting stuff, figuring, bits about sales and business development. I've been a part of 18 different startups, either as the first check-in, the board member, the advisor, or the founder. I think in today's day and age, there's a voice for an authentic entrepreneur like me.
Let's check out a few of these little nuggets from Mike.
Founders, remember this. Data tells, but stories sell. Storytelling makes you more money than showing all the numbers. And the cool part of all that is you can have your data help tell your story. This is why you can get investors who are the toughest nuts to crack in the world to come in on your floral business. Your data is going to rationalize, and in the one part of their brain, they're going to make sure I'm not a chump. I'm not a fool. I'm not making myself look terrible. I'm not dumb for investing, or I'm not dumb for buying this. But you got to tell a story that gets It's the emotional part of it. People will not buy if they're not emotionally invested to some degree in you, your product, or your story. So you have to tell a story about the product, how they will feel, how they will benefit from your product or service. But if you don't tie that in, you'll miss it. Data is amazing, and data will unleash a whole new world of insights, and it won't make a damn bit of difference if you can't tell that story.
Are you getting a lot of good feedback on these little nuggets that you're putting out there? Are people responding to it positively?
I'll answer your question in reverse. The process is I sit down for about an hour every other week. It's scheduled. I do an interview similar to this. And my guy, he knows my background. So he's like, how do I pull up the nuggets from Mike in a non-canned sort of way? Because he knows about my experience. And so he's just trying to ask it a different way from a different angle. And then he'll make, with a video editor, probably 15, 20, 45-second, minute-long pieces. So now I've got like just about a month worth of material. So we've been doing that since probably the beginning of February. So it's going great. It's an easy way to leverage my time and then have exposure.
The company that I think is just really exciting that you're involved in is Veil Scientific. And, I think everyone, well, maybe not, but maybe this is part of the problem, but sepsis is, the number 2 killer, I think, in the country.
Let me not correct you, but add to it. It's the number 1 killer of anybody that goes into a hospital. If anybody who dies in a hospital, the number 1 reason is sepsis. It's a huge problem.
And you're at the ground floor of one of the companies that's got is well positioned to perhaps revolutionize this entire space, right?
Veil Scientific, Arick, is going to rewrite the books on sepsis. It's going to save millions of lives a year when it's at scale. Veil Scientific has an early detection for sepsis. In about a second, it can tell you with a high degree of accuracy that you have sepsis. And what the problem has been is they don't know how to detect it. And so it goes undetected for days, sometimes weeks. And when you get to a certain level of sepsis, like stage 4, your mortality goes up every single hour you're not on antibiotics or having some form of treatment. So it kills 11 million people a year globally. And it's an infection.
It's an infection. It's solvable. It's
the easiest thing in the world. The problem, here's a data versus storytelling thing. I could tell you how NO, nitrous oxide, in your blood is a great bio indicator for you having septic. You're septic right now. Or I could tell you the story of it's going to save millions of lives a year because we now can figure it out in about a second, right? You want to hear both of those things. And that's what Veil's going to do. And they're going through the FDA process, and a lot of their hurdles are done. You never, cross your fingers with the FDA, but it's a one of a kind. It is brand new, and it'll be one of the big boys in town if we can keep it in town so somebody doesn't grab it up.
Why don't more people know about sepsis? What is sepsis as a storytelling problem? But I mean, obviously sepsis is an infection. It's not someone that thinks about narrative arcs, but why is it?
The data just sort of falls quiet to the ER doc types and because they see it every day. They're a little bit numb to it. Because I guarantee you, do you know anybody who's ever died or almost died of sepsis?
Yes, of course. Everyone does.
I do too. Everybody does. It's almost like cancer. And I think we need to start treating it and talking about it like that. And I think a breakthrough like this that's going to be such a game changer for the industry, I think will bring attention to it all by itself. Just the discovery of like, oh, we needed to be looking for these 5 things, not the thing, right?
And you think every ambulance, every MASH unit, everyone around the world is going to have this in their basic kit?
Yeah, because the number one, because it works, it's effective, it'll save lives. So think about the efficaciousness around it. In the convenience, it's convenient and efficacious. It'll be a no-brainer. The technology is not going to be that expensive. They're not going to be giving it away, I'm sure, but it's not going to be that expensive. It's not like we need to roll out an MRI to every ambulance. Every ambulance, long-term care facility, anybody touches somebody over the age of 60 should have one of these things. So yeah, I think they're going to be very, very prevalent. They'll be like, maybe like, like heart paddles, and those that you see around.
Or like an EpiPen.
Yeah, or an EpiPen even. Yeah, it's a great example. I think the future is really, really bright for Veil Scientific.
So many stories. We could stay here for a lot longer, but our time is up. Mike Nathan, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, Arick.
For Leverage Storytelling, I am Arick Wierson. This was Mike Nathan. We'll see you next time.